Dad, there's a Pokemon in front of us. Look.
There's a Pokemon right there.
Oh my god.
Can you capture that one?
Dad, you need to practice on your throwing ball.
I need to practice, but hey, this is the real Pokemon ball. I'm playing it for real. I'm not playing that one. Well, hi, this is my little talk about what I saw with people playing Pokemon Go in my part of town.
Dad, there's people here that are playing Pokemon Go everywhere.
Are they everywhere here at Central Station? You sure? From the back end of town, from Central Station, walking through Darling Harbour, walking up to the shops area, walking up to Centrepoint Tower. We had a visitor from overseas, and the weekend before we saw a whole bunch of people playing Pokemon Go around the Opera House. What I'm noticing is that there are more and more people playing this game. It hasn't got smaller, it's actually got bigger. If ever you wanted proof that this game is totally and utterly everywhere, well, there it is there, middle of Chinatown in Sydney. I've got a better way of getting it than that game. I've got the real ball here. Okay, the real ball, and we're gonna... Nintendo share price spiked right up. At the time of making this intro vlog, it's actually relaxed a bit because the revelation is that Nintendo don't have the full share behind the core game, which is Pokemon Go. It's a company called Niantic. I hope that's right. I think they're the people, if you can invest in those people, I think they're on a gold mine here. Pokemon Go is different and revolutionary because it's a game that plays out on the mobile device and it gets you going from point A to point B and all places in between, and you can be playing a game. It's not the sort of game you can be sitting at home playing, although I've had many people comment on my other Pokemon Go videos saying, oh, I sit at home and play the game. I do not understand how you can play the game sitting at home. Maybe you can explain to me how that can be done. I've also had other people say to me, Leo, it costs money to play the game. It actually doesn't cost anything to play the game. I'm up to level 12. And I haven't had to pay a cent, although I had to do a lot of walking and stimulate the game to get my Pokeballs and to earn points along the way and open eggs and all the things that you do in Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go does change and manipulate you, and I thought, well, what's an example where it has changed the habit of mine? And I'll give you one example, is that at my local shopping mall, there's the PokeGym. The major PokeGym is at a fountain. It's a big water feature in the middle of the shopping centre, and my daughter said to me one weekend, Dad, can we just hang around this area here, because she wanted to learn how to battle and see how she can go in the PokeGym. And I thought, okay then, well, we'll hang around on the top level of this walkway, and there was a coffee shop there, and I thought, well, I've never bought a coffee from here, but while I'm waiting, and not to be rude while we're using the chairs there, well, I'll buy a coffee so we can sit down and my daughter can play the game and I can just see what's going on myself. And I thought to myself, wow, there you go, bang. There's an example of how a game has changed my long-term habit of going to another... I used to go to another coffee shop in Hornsby, Westfield. It was a Donut King on the top level. I know the people there quite well. And I thought, wow, that's a bit strange. I'm actually buying a coffee from somewhere totally different for the first time, all thanks to Pokemon Go. So you start to see how it can manipulate you and change things. And while we've got our mind thinking about the beautiful water feature fountain at Hornsby, there's another major water feature that appears when it's raining, and that is the buckets inside Westfield Hornsby. Oh yeah! We all live a very regimented life. Pokemon Go can smash that regimentation. That's the very powerful thing that it can do. It can move masses of people from point A to point B, and that's been shown over and over. And that style of manipulation is something that advertising is always trying to do. So here is a game that's got this ability to do these things, and that's, you know, something that I think a lot of people don't quite understand yet. I'm starting to think to myself, wow, this can be wrapped up in different ways, and it can be extremely powerful. Time for some mid-video trivia. This park here in the middle of Sydney was where one of the major scenes of the Power Rangers movie was shot, although it has all been redeveloped now. Why do I get interruptions? But all up there is all different buildings, but the parachute scene, where the Power Rangers come in and parachute into Angel Grove, was that the name of the city? Shot right here. Hey look, it's another one of those Pokemons. I've run out of Pokeballs, but I have got a Pikachu. Whoa! Nearly got him. When I first saw Pokemon Go en masse when people were playing it outdoors, I thought of the Star Trek The Next Generation episode. There's a Wesley Crusher one called The Game. I think it's called The Game.
I wonder what happens after prolonged exposure.
Speed up the processor and we'll find out.
It's stimulating the septal area.
That's the pleasure center of the brain. Whatever this thing does, it must feel pretty good.
Doesn't that area control higher reasoning?
Yeah, it sure does.
There was a game where people were sort of zombieized, walking around the Enterprise playing a game, and I think Wesley, in his wisdom, worked out that the game was actually trying to infiltrate and take over the ship by zapping everyone's mind. And it's sort of funny because people said to me, well, Pokemon Go is like the zombie apocalypse, but instead of zombies, we've got Pokemons, okay, because it's like everybody playing it. I find it a very interesting moment in time. Of course, as a video maker, if I can get out there and just capture that moment, I'm going to do my best. And hopefully during this video, we've had flashes of things that I've witnessed along the way. It's been quite miraculous, and I do enjoy going out and chatting to people playing the game, because in that way, you also learn things about the game. I got an Apple, eh? I've noticed a lot of Samsungs. You playing as well?
Yeah, man.
Oh man, there's a whole group of them here. Oh, no, it's beautiful, guys. Absolutely stunning. Thanks very much. Yeah. Oh, there's another one. They keep coming. They keep. Oh, and another one. Wow. One thing I'll say: all the Pokemon players are all very, very happy people. The amount of people playing this game. It's funny. People say, "Oh, come on, Leo, you're pulling our leg." No, no, no. This is astonishingly widespread in age group. No matter where I go in Sydney, we walked around our suburb last night. At night time, there's another sort of level of this activity that goes on. I'm not going to venture out at night because I can't get a good video at night. But in the quieter suburbs of Sydney, people walking around who just know they're playing the game because they're doing certain things with their finger on their phone, you know, straight away, bang, they're playing Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go! Yay! So there's lots of evidence that Pokemon Go has stimulated millions of gamers' minds, but it's also stimulated some very savvy retailers who like to sell stuff in relation to Pokemon Go. I think that's very clever, but I've also noticed there's a big push of Pokemon toys in the toy stores. This is feeling like a Pokemon invasion. I think the real magic behind Pokemon Go is that it actually gets you out and about and walking. Walking is the simplest way to get some joy back into your life. I've realised that myself. I've been a keen walker for a couple of years now, and I think it's something that a lot of people need to put a little bit of time to, and the benefits of walking about and making it a regular thing can't be underestimated. It is the best form of therapy you can ever get, and it's free. There was a dangerous PokeGym in my area, and I thought to myself, you know, is it the right or wrong thing to have PokeGyms stuck out in very, I would call it, you know, edgy parts of town? And then I bumped into someone across the bridge there, and we had a bit of a chat, and they sort of knew that part of town when they were younger, and they agreed with me. They said, well, you know, I don't understand why this PokeGym is in this place, but then again, I think when Nintendo have landed all the PokeGyms and PokeStops, they've given no thought about, well, what is that part of town like when the lights are turned off, okay, and how far away is it from civilization? But then again, that's really my only gripe with the game. It's been in the headlines a lot, but then again, Nintendo are experts at pulling the headlines. If you remember back on the Wii game, there's a very, very negative story that happened with the Wii game. Do you remember that story? Can you rekindle my memory? I actually know it, but can you rekindle everyone's memory of what went on there? I think it was in the UK. And from that incident, it actually made me very aware of that platform. So like I said, a negative thing can be a very powerful thing to get you aware of something. Okay? Yeah, it's been curious. Very, very curious. And you learn lots of things from these little moments in time. I think my prediction is that this is the beginning of something much, much bigger that I think it hasn't fully crystallized yet. That's my feeling, because when I see how people can be so manipulated by a game and motivated by a game, that's where the money is. Another bit of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie trivia. The intersection behind me was where the Power Rangers came into Angel Grove in their suits. And I remember we blew up a car up on the corner here. There used to be a monorail here, but the monorail's gone because we're going backwards in Sydney. And it was like a scene of devastation because the monsters had come down here and started to destroy the city. But you probably didn't know that, but I know this because I was here a long time back doing that. Okay, well, maybe you learned something in this video. Hopefully you've seen things flash by as I've been talking. My daughter did this vlogging and everything. She got quite excited going into town, walking around chasing Pokemons, and she did this quite crazy vlog.
And so with eggs, walking these distances, after you walk like, let's say 5 kilometers, you hatch an egg, and that unlocks another Pokemon. Could be like on level 100 something or 300, I don't know. I dropped the phone by accident after doing that dab. Right now I'm just looking in the bush. So those two people that just walked past, they were playing Pokemon Go, Dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Everyone's playing it. I keep saying it. Everyone around here, everyone's playing it.
Yeah.
Even you. Whether that ever gets stitched together and turned into a video, I don't know. It's actually very hard when someone else shoots a video and then like Daddy here has to sort of stitch it together. It's actually very hard because I can't hop into my daughter's mind to work out what's going on here, or maybe just that randomness of it is going to work. Okay. But we had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun playing Pokemon Go. I'm actually very proud of the level I've got to, but we haven't got Pikachu yet. Although he's sitting over there. But the one in the game we haven't got. The Pokédex is getting filled up, and it's one of those things, you know, when's it going to stop? Better leave this video here. As always, thanks for watching, and bye for now.